So I got this truck from a friend, and he actually installed a light bar, but had problems with it, and I'm not sure why, but he ended up cutting the wire. I think it was to pass the wire into the body without making a big hole. So instead of taking these out of there, he decided to cut the wire and splice the wire. So this is okay, this does work, but it's not the best way to actually fix your wire. Best way to do it is with soldering and using shrink wrap, and this is what I'm going to show you real quick. If you go to the auto store, you can pick up a whole bunch of different heat shrink tube sets, and they come in different variety of flavors and all that. So this one is pretty versatile. It comes with a lot of different sizes. Like you can see, I've already used up a lot of them, and this is what we're going to use today. The best heat shrink tube set to use are the 2-to-1, which means whatever size it is, it's going to shrink down 2 size smaller than what it actually is. First thing to do on these is actually take off the tape. So take off all the tape that you have on all 3 wires. Once all the wires are apart, put one big shrink tube right over one wire. So it doesn't matter which one you do for ease of how it's going to be, because I don't want it to keep falling on where I'm working. I'm going to put it on this cable. And this is going to grab all 3 cables once I'm done. And before you start soldering, you need to put a little tiny one on every wire and just put it on to the wire. There we go. I got 3 of the heat shrink, the smaller heat shrink, onto the wire. Now we're going to twist these together and solder them. Now I've twisted all the wires onto the black one, and I'll show you quickly how I did this. Now this is not strong. If you pull on it, it will come apart. But once we tin them and we solder them, they will be basically unbreakable. So how I did this real quick is you do take your wire, you go about halfway on both, and then you take one and you just start twisting. So you just twist on one side, and then you're left with the other side, and then you can twist the other side on it. And like I said, this is not strong at all if you do not put some solder on. The reason I'm doing it this way is so that I can actually put the solder on and actually put the heat shrink on. So this is going to make it like a continuous wire. If you're going to do any soldering, it is good to have a little arm like that. They're not expensive. You'll find them at pretty much any store, even on Amazon. So I've put all the 3 wires onto the clip, and I'll start with the black one, and then I'll move on to the next. But you can see here, I'll have the heat shrink on it after, and once everything is done, I take this fourth heat shrink and actually put it over all of them, and it's going to make for a very strong connection. Okay, so we'll start soldering. I got to look through the camera, but I'll try to be as accurate as I can. So basically, you can preheat your wire if you want, but one easy thing is to actually put a little bit of tin onto your soldering iron and actually work it into the wire from underneath. And then that tin is actually going to warm up the wire a heck of a lot faster. And then you can put some on it, and then it just goes all over inside the wire and holds everything. And now you can pull very hard on this wire and it will not come apart. So let's do the other one. Okay, all 3 wires are done, all with solder, so there's no way this is going to come apart now that there's solder on it. And now the only thing I have to do is bring the heat shrink on top of it all the way to the middle, and actually use my little butane torch to actually heat shrink everything together. And now I'll do the rest. It does have a little exhaust, like you can tell here, and this is where the heat is coming out, so it makes it very easy. to actually use this as a butane torch and a like a lighter to actually use with the heat. So it's very easy. Once you have all three of them heat shrink, you can bring the third one, the fourth one I mean, over everything, and then you can heat shrink this one. This is going to help hold everything together. Wire's all fixed, ready to go to the trail, and looks way neater and way cleaner. That's a tank tip of the day. Thanks guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of these or a different type of videos, let me know. Thanks.